Hi, I'm Missy, and I'm going to tell you a story about an incident that happened at Pizza Hut. Um, I'm going to change the name of the town and of the people. Um, Although it happened many years ago, that's the way I'm going to do it. In 1992, my husband and I hopped a train to Billings, Montana the day after he got out of the service in San Francisco. We were stationed on Treasure Island. It was in the Navy. So we started our lives up in Billings. We were settled there for 10 years. The first job I got was Pizza Hut. It was a dine-in Pizza Hut. They're not very common anymore. Um, I was a waitress. I was hired as a waitress, my first wait job, and um, I, you know, you know, it was just a fun cast of characters, though. A lot of fun. It was. That's kind of the reason why I stayed for so long because it was fun. Um, Much of the time, I wanted to punch people in the face, not the customers either, just people that I worked with. That drew me up the wall. But I kept that. I never punched anybody. I kept that in my heart. Kept it in my heart. Important to remember that because I'm not, not that type of person. So, um, I was there for 4 years at the hut. And the first year, I opened and closed and did mid shifts and whatever. Um, but the last 3 years, I predominantly closed, and I was called in on my days off. Some days too, predominantly closed. A good year or more of that, I worked with two people. Um, Exclusively, we closed together for that time. Excuse me. Um, and it was Jacob, the cook, and Susan, the shift manager, and myself. It was nice because we were able to get um, our work done very well, um, real quickly. And then if I was finished up front, I would go to Jason, vice versa. It was nice. We turned the radio up, we crank it on the good songs, and laugh. And we were able to get out of there in 45 minutes, much of the time. That was our goal. But yeah, we get out of there very short amount of time. And yeah, so at the end of the night, we'd have to go in back, and we kept our coats on the same rack in the back. We have to do that in sync because um, Susan had to set the alarm, and we only had so and so many seconds to run out the front door before it would go off, and um, the police would come for us. In the back, there in closing, there was always two big garbage bags full of food and stuff. Um, Corporate, which is PepsiCo at the time, had a policy of not taking the garbage out late at night because for safety reasons. It's understandable. And I had made that point. I'd made so many comments about the cockroaches and the rats. It's terrific that you know corporate is so just generous to give them a delicious meal every night. Yeah, so many different. I made so many comments about that. I thought it was a silly. Yeah, okay. We put our coats on, and I would get my coat or I put my coat on. I get my purse from the manager's desk because a lot of managers. One night I noticed that Jacob had a new coat, and it was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was leather, um, and it smelled so good. It made that whole area smell. That's what makes me think about it. That's what makes me think. Yeah. It made the whole area smell like fresh leather. Brand new leather coat. That's fantastic. Um, it was black and kind of had a small collar, but it had gone just to the waist. It had the silver um, zippers up the sleeves, and then somewhere the pockets were. It was very sharp, and it was. Um, I know other people had a jacket like that, but it was still pretty unique. Nice. Um, in 1995, the Pizza Hut um, north of Billings, the next major town, was closing. And the crew or the management there offered the crew to, if you still want to work with the hut, there are shifts available in Billings. Terrific. 5 people came. Out of those 5, there was a brother and a sister. The brother, I don't remember his name, but I'm going to call him Mike. Jacob and Mike had become good friends. And sometimes Mike would pick up Jacob after work, take him home. My husband and I had seen both of them at the grocery store a couple of times. They didn't know each other before meeting at the Billings location. But the funny thing is that the whole trademark to me, it's kind of sound funny, but the whole trademark to me of their relationship and why it was so funny to me um, was because they kind of looked the same. They sort of looked like they could have been brothers, but yeah, with blonde hair and blue eyes. One was more reddish, but um, that wasn't. It was more their body type. It's like 5'8", 5'9", um, uh, and wiry. Sort of a smaller man. And they both had that same look about them. Yeah, so I thought it was sort of funny. They were both the same size, both, yeah. So I got a kick out of that, and other people had mentioned that too, so I wasn't wrong. But that's what, if you were to say to me, Mike and Jacob, I think that's the first thing I would think of. Very weird. So we, went on with our lives, closed, day after day. In March or April of 1996, we're closing. I'm in the front. I think I'm down to my last task, and I only say that because I'm sitting doing something. I'm rolling silverware. I don't know how many other wait staff get watching, or anybody at all watching. Um, but it's very soothing, and it's the least trouble, or yeah, takes no effort, and yeah. So I was sitting doing it, so I'm guessing that was my last task. It was a Sunday night. They're closing, and I'm thinking, I don't know, 10:30. I really didn't know what time it was. But, um, so all of a sudden, someone comes. I'm facing the register. I'm sorry. All of a sudden, someone comes around the corner from the kitchen, puts a gun to Susan's head, and says, "Give me the money." I'm stunned. I'm frozen, and I can't believe I'm seeing this. I can't believe this is happening. This, Missy, hit the floor. We're being robbed. I hit, but as I do, I'm still looking over to see what on earth is going on. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. Money, grab the money, go around the counter from the register, and run out the door. And all of a sudden, I'm not scared anymore. After I see that, I'm not scared anymore. I'm not nervous. I'm not trembling. I'm not anxious. Nothing. Nothing. Um, the burglar was wearing a black ski cap and Jacob's leather jacket. You gotta be kidding. This can't. No. No. This can't be. Why did you. Why did you do that? So clearly, Mike was the one with the gun. And they were both in on this. Now, I think Susan was too. And I'll explain that in a little bit, but oh my gosh. So, Jason, his name Jacob, comes running up um, to the wait station where the register is. Nancy, Susan, the register is. And so I'm having to fake that I'm nervous because, of course, you're going to be nervous. Seeing something like that. And I was initially, but then I figured out, oh my gosh, oh, there's Jacob's jacket. So Jacob came up and he said, "Oh, what happened? I just took the garbage out." Okay, I knew that's what happened, but why would he say, "I just took the garbage out"? What happened? Why would he know that? At any rate, yeah. I mean, I'd already figured it out. I could have been in the same room with them while they were, you know, planning this heist because everything I knew everything at that point. And it was, and if it weren't for the jacket, Jacob. That was, it could have been, yeah, I, yeah. So, so I'm having to act like I'm nervous, but I wasn't. I was angry, um, very angry, but I couldn't let them know that, and, I couldn't let them see that. I was so angry with them, but this is beyond that. It, yeah, the whole time. I'm, I'm thinking I'm anxious, which, of course, if this were real, it was real, but you know what I mean? I already knew that, yeah. Um, I would be nervous, that type of nervous, but I really had to make sure that they knew that I convinced them that I thought that this was, dangerous and threatening. It was an inside job, which, and to my credit though, I, Susan wanted me to be there as a witness. I figured that out when I was talking to my husband later. She wanted me to be a witness, to this, to make it more credible, because I'm a good worker. Hmm. And, so yeah, I came up with the. I'm not sure it was myself or my husband, but one of us came up with that. And yeah, it is. So the big boss came in. Susan's just shift manager, and the big boss came in, and she, the cops were there already. The cops were talking to us and asking questions. I wasn't saying nothing, nothing, giving nothing away, but still having to act like, But then I see, naturally, that would kind of lessen the anxiety and the shaky. So I really had to, I was paying attention to things at once. I was watching Jacob. I was watching Susan. Susan, her behavior didn't seem to merit just having a gun to her head. It seemed to, that's a trauma that you wouldn't even, I mean, it didn't have any, her face. There was no horror. There was no horror in her face. That's a good word. Um, and that disturbed me because it was sort of like it was, yeah. Um, so yeah, I figured that out. And then yeah, me, being there to be a witness. That was the whole plan. So the, yeah, I wasn't saying a word. I wasn't saying a word. And this was not the time to pull the cop aside and say, yeah, two of the culprits, they're here in the room. Mm-mm. I wasn't going to do that. I had no plans on what I was going to do, but I was not going to tell the cops that Jacob and Susan, they're the ones that need to be. So um, I was nervous about that. I wasn't nervous about, telling. No, I wasn't nervous about telling. Um, and I, I, I wonder if, well, the enormous, it's enormous to hold up a restaurant, and it's, yeah, it's not like stealing a bag of groceries. I was blown away. Matter of fact, as of now, it's happened in 1986. But even now, I've told the story, um, to, well, my husband knew, like right after, and I've told the story to people, my family, but making this video right now, that's, very weird. Because revisiting that is like, oh, I knew everything. I knew everything. All right. So, end of the night, the cops are gone. I've told them very little. I was very surfacey. They had no idea that I knew, what had gone down. No idea. Nor did, Susan or Jacob. So I thought, well, holy crap. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get a message to the police? Um, but they said, we're going back. Turn the alarm on. And, so, Susan gonna turn the alarm on. I think, Big Boss is with us there now, but, yeah, at any rate, yeah, so the garbage isn't there. And, when we put our coats on. And Jacob wore a parka that day after wearing that other coat for 2, 3 weeks straight. So it's getting more and more, and I knew it from the instant, anyways, that I saw that jacket that Mike was wearing. I knew exactly what happened. And like I said, I could have been in the room with him. I would have made other suggestions. It, yeah, okay. If you're going to be, see, that's it. That's it. It's sort of like a Walmart thief, you know? They're not going to be as sophisticated as perhaps a Page jeweler. No, this is that type of thing. They're not going to be as sophisticated. But I would be able to think, it shouldn't work. Yeah, I would have planned it totally differently. I would have. But they didn't ask me. Instead, I'm the witness and the person to figure it out right away. So it was my responsibility to go to the police. So what happened is by the time the cops did leave, I answered what I could, but like I said, I wasn't going to embellish on any of it because it was serious business, and I wasn't. And I didn't want to see stuff go down. Meaning, I didn't want to see people arrested. I didn't want any of that. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want it in front of me at all. So, in the first opportunity I get, I'm going to tell. But yeah, park. So someone takes me home. It's late at night. It's probably 1 o'clock almost at this point. There for a long time. They're looking in the kitchen all day. So I get home and I go into the bedroom. My husband's asleep. I go into the bedroom and I say, "Hey, Lisa, I got robbed." And I meant to startle him awake. That's what I meant to do. Plan. Um, and so he woke up and, "Oh, you okay? Wait. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." I told him beginning to the end, the whole thing. So on, we decided that Wednesday I would call the police and I would say, "Listen, I have everything you need." Because it just be more and more. Um, yeah, just add it up. Well, it didn't even have to. All you had to do was take the garbage out and the guy run it. That's pretty much it. And yeah, so I did go to the police on Wednesday, and my husband took me because I don't drive. And after work, I called the police in the morning, Wednesday morning. But the day after the incident on Monday, I was at work, and Jacob was there. Susan wasn't. I don't even know what time Mike worked. Um, and then the next day, Jacob was there. Susan wasn't. So and I sort of, oh my gosh, I kind of wanted to say on Tuesday clothing. I wanted to chase it. Get yourself so snarker tonight and so high on cocaine and whatever you can find, whatever you can find. 3 sheets to the wind, drunk as a skunk because tomorrow's not. Yeah. Um. So, yeah. So I went to the told the cops. Wednesday's my day off. Thursday's my day off. Friday I get there, and of course, Jason, Susan, Mike, they're not there. There's another cook that I'd worked with before. I know her. She's very nice. And she said, "Missy, the pizza got robbed last Sunday." I said, "Yeah, I know. I was there." Mike and Jacob got picked up. Oh, I didn't realize that it had progressed that far. Investigation. So, yeah, there's no moral to this story at all. Not one. It's not fun. Not one. It's heartbreaking and devastating. And it, yeah, it's a very weird story. And I, if you're poor, just be poor. Don't hurt other people. Just be poor. Who cares? Mm, It's it's okay. um, I I don't even like that I have that story to share. To tell you the truth, because I felt so highly of Jacob, and now this, or then this was years ago. It's 25 years ago, about. Um, and so yeah. Well, um, here's to say, I hope you think I'm a good enough storyteller because I tell a lot of stories. Um, but I'm not going to share them. You know, you're not going to share my life stuff with you in the Wendy's drive-through. I can't drive. But besides, yeah. Um, yeah. Um, so I'm not going to do it that way. But I have stories, lots of fun stories. I hope this is what I want to be, is a great storyteller. And I think I am, but the jury is still out. And if you'd like to and comment, and comment, and then join, is that I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Subscribe, like, comment. Subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye.